Sai Ram, Sai Leela episode 17. Today we'll hear some of the experiences of Govind Rao Oak from Andheri. Once, Mr. Govind Rao Oak went to Shirdi along with his friend Mr. Krishna Ji Agastya. They took darshan of Baba and stayed in Shirdi for 2 to 3 days. While returning from Shirdi, they purchased 2 pictures of Baba and got it nicely packed. On the way, Govind Rao felt he should have purchased another picture for his brother also. On reaching house, they opened the package and found 3 pictures, whereas they had paid only for 2. It was a great surprise by seeing this Leela of Baba. As a prasad of Baba, he gave the photo to his brother. The next experience is of Gangadhar Vishnu Kesh Sagar of Nivasa. He was from Dashat Brahmin family who worked as a clerk in the postal department and was living in Kopargaon. He says, I lost my father when I was very young and we owned large lands which was contracted to Mr. Bala Nivaskar, a devotee of Baba. He used to claim that the lands belonged to him. I had an uncle who used to be our representative and used to take care of the lands. Bala Nivaskar told my uncle to join him to Shirdi and let Baba decide on the issue and give his decision. Then me, my mother and my uncle went to Shirdi. We were new to Shirdi. We reached Dwarkamai and saw Baba and was about to prostrate before him. Before prostrating, Baba told Nivaskar to give back the lands to children. He says, why do you trouble them? We returned to Nivasa, but Bala Nivaskar did not return the land. Then we got the lands back through the court. Bala Nivaskar became mentally sick since then. This incident is of 1901 when I was 16 years old. Bala did not go to Shirdi from then. I have not seen Saibaba, but my mother and uncle have seen Baba and used to go to Shirdi very often. After 2 years, I was transferred to Sonawada. From that time, I go to Shirdi and used to sing Sai Bhajans. On the 27th of June 1935, Baba came into my dreams and said, today your house has been registered in your name. Wake up today, there is a feast in Shirdi. Come and have the prasad. I reached Shirdi. Baba took me to Prasadalaya. I had my food and I found it to be a dream. After 4 days, I received a letter from my brother. It was written that on 27 June 1935, the day I had the dream, that day the Ahmednagar court had given the decisions in our favor. From that day onwards, my belief in Sai Baba increased and always I trusted him. The next Leela we'll hear of Chandrabai Borkar. Chandrabai, aged 66, wife of Sri Ramchandra Borkar. They were staying in Villaparle, Mumbai. She narrates that she was a devotee of Baba past 45 years and she says that she went to Shirdi 20 years before Baba's Mahasamadhi and she had collected Baba's divine Udi in large quantity and had stored it in her house as this Udi did miracles. She also claimed she has a tooth of Baba which he gave her as a sign of prosperity. She says, I have a lot of devotion for Baba, which Baba proved it to me in the year 1898 when I went to Shirdi. There was no shelter in the masjid and the Satewara was not there. The Satewara was built later. During that period, Baba used to sit below the neem tree, which is in the Satewara now. I have seen Baba taking some oil in his mouth and putting it back in the tumbrel and mixing it with water, then poured it to the lamps and lit them. I have also seen Baba tying small pieces of torn cloths as a rope and hanged a wooden plank with lamps lit in all the 4 corners, and Baba slept on the plank. In those days, there were no much people visiting Shirdi. I used to stay in some villager's house. When I went there, Baba was very affectionate with me. Mrs. Borkar used to become very emotional when she was expressing all this. She used to cry remembering those incidents. She says, "My husband never went and met Baba, but Baba used to shower his love on him." Mr. Borkar was an engineer. In the year 1909, he had gone to Pandharpur for construction of a dam. During that time, he stayed in Pandharpur. I was in Shirdi doing Baba's seva. One day, Baba said to her, "It is good for you to go to Pandharpur. I too will come along with you. Traveling is not a problem to me." I also prepared to go to Pandharpur. On reaching to Pandharpur, I found out that my husband had resigned the job and had left to Mumbai. I really did not know what to do. I was with two other people and had money to buy tickets till Kudwadi. I was just thinking of what to do now. Then a fakir came in front of me and said that my husband was in Dhund and I have to go there. I asked him, "I do not have money to buy tickets." Then the fakir got me 3 tickets and disappeared. We left for Dhund. There in Dhund, Mr. Borkar was in a confused state and was having his tea. Meanwhile, a fakir appeared and said, "How can you disregard my mother? She is coming in the train. Go and receive her." He gave him the train details and disappeared. Mr. Borkar searched for the fakir but could not find him. As the train reached the station and I got down from the train, I could see my husband in front of me. He had come to receive her. Mr. Borkar narrated the story and asked me to show the picture of Sai Baba, which I used to keep it with me. Mr. Borkar was surprised and said this was the fakir who came and told him about you. On one Guru Purnima day, the next day Upasni Maharaj and his followers were supposed to leave Shirdi and go to Pandharpur. Baba told me to take puja items and do their puja, and I did as instructed by Baba. I told Upasni Maharaj instructions given by Baba. He also did not object. From that day, I did not do puja for Upasni Maharaj. I considered Upasni Maharaj as a scholar, but there were a lot of gossips about Upasni Maharaj in Shirdi. But I never did this. Baba used to say we should never hate or never have jealousy and never have any kind of grudge on any person. I had a different view on Maharaj. I had once gone to Sakori, but I was not respected the inmates of the ashram there. Hence, I never went there again. Sai Baba, before and after his samadhi till date, has been showering his grace on me. He was always thinking of, he was saying what would happen to me after his samadhi. Baba used to call me Bai. Once he said, "Why do you take so much of pain in coming here? I'm always with you." When she explained this, she was crying and tears flowed from her eyes. Baba was very generous. His words always came true. I settled in Panchgani. During the Dashera, I got information from Hari Sitharam Dikshit that Baba thought of her always. I also came to know that Baba was about to take samadhi. I reached Shirdi on time and saw Baba in his last minutes. I got the opportunity to put water into Baba's mouth during his last minutes. After this, in 1919 and 1933, I visited Shirdi as promised by Baba. Baba was always with me. I used to write poetry on Baba and my experiences, which was published in Sai Leela magazine. In 1921, my husband met with an accident and had broken his legs. I applied Udi with medicine, which got cured in a very short time. In 1921, my first child was born, which was a Leela of Baba, because I got pregnant at the age of 48. And had a lot of health complications. Doctors had lost hopes, but in 1918, Baba has asked me what I wanted, and I had told, "You know what I want." After 3 months there, Dr. Purandhare had found a growth in my uterus and suggested to get it operated, but I did not do. My dreams of having a child was not possible, but Baba can make impossible things possible. After 3 years and 3 days of Baba's Mahasamadhi, on the Dhanrodeshi day, my child was born. During the delivery, I was in the chamber there. Nobody was with me, and nor the doctor or the nurse. The whole day I worked, and at night I gave birth to a male child. All the 9 months I had a lot of health issues. My legs used to swell. I used to have oodhi in water. During the death of my husband, Baba was with me 2 months before itself. Baba made me prepared, and he appeared in my dream and said he will take Madhav with him. I said, "Take me first, Baba." Then he said I had a lot of work pending and to be prepared to accept her husband's death and work on what he is giving. I told this to my husband, but he did not take it seriously and took it as a simple dream. This was 2 months before Chaturmas. Then my husband developed a chest ailment and had a lot of cough. He understood his end was nearing. His wish was that he wanted to die after the Chaturmas. His body deteriorated. I asked Baba to fulfill his wish. The next day itself, he was recovered on the Chaturmash, on the 4th day. In 1934 Kartik month Purnima and Prapada day, that day in the evening, my husband told me to read the Vishnu Sahasranam till the morning. Then the doctor came and said he had recovered, but I knew that his end will come in the afternoon or in the evening. I gave him Ganga water to drink. He drank it. Then he started to chant the name of Sri Ram. Then a small boy came and said, "Baba." Then he woke up and saying Ram Ram, he left his last breath. I prayed to the Almighty for his Atma to rest in peace. After his death, I had to take care of the property and my son. Some of my relatives were troubling us. I had to pay a sum of 40,000 to clear things. Some of the people had black magic done on the house, so I was not getting any tenant. Baba came in my dreams and told me to go to Goa and approach my Kul Devta for the relief. And I sent my son to the temple and prayed our Kul Devta. Thus all our problems were solved by Baba. Jai Sai Ram.